Welcome to the Kaiserstuhl. My name is Patrick Jona and I'm from the Weingut Jona in the Kaiserstuhl. Behind me you can see the Totenkopf, so the highest mountain from the Kaiserstuhl, and also symbolizing on many labels, on many logos, the Kaiserstuhl. Behind me you can see a model of the Kaiserstuhl. No, it's just joking. This is just a big chair symbolizing this site here called the Leiselheimer Gestühl. The site northwestern part of the Kaiserstuhl with volcanic ash soils. Now in the Rhine Valley between the Black Forest over there and the Vosges Mountains in that direction, there's a weak spot, and many years ago a volcano emerged here. And now the Kaiserstuhl consists of course mostly of volcanic stones, and behind me you can see the heritage of the volcano. Now most of the Kaiserstuhl is covered with a thick layer of loess soil, and in places where a lot of erosion has flushed away part of the loess soil, things like a Hohlgasse developed, just wide enough for a tractor and a trailer to drive through and drive to the vineyards. Behind me you can see some loess soil, a wonderful soil because it has a high water capacity, especially in dry summer. It's a wonderful soil for the plants. Wines evolving from these soils are mainly sort of upfront, fruity, delicate wines, maybe not quite as deep and as complex as the ones from the volcanic sites, but nevertheless great wines, and funny enough you can also store them for a long time, these wines. Today is of course the hottest day of the whole year, and that in the hottest region of whole Germany, and that's the place also where we grow Pinot Noir. Now look at this. This is a special type of grape growing in the Kaiserstuhl. It took me quite a while to find a vineyard like this. As you can see, some problems with fungal diseases, downy mildew. You probably don't know that in California, nor do you know that in New Zealand, for example. But here on the Kaiserstuhl, this year it was sometimes a bit wet, and therefore you had to take care with your vineyards. On the other hand, this type of canopy management doesn't need a lot of manual labour, and therefore you can make great cheap wines from it. But don't ask me about the quality. It won't be any good. I'd like to show you how normal vintner in the Kaiserstuhl region grows its grapes. As you can see, it's a wonderful, nicely tucked in plant, and he also has taken off some of the leaves by machine with a leaf plucker. But unfortunately, there's still a lot of leaves inside, and therefore if we have another year like 2006 with heavy rains during September and during the ripening season, you get fungal disease in here, especially botrytis, and therefore not the quality you would like to have. That's why our Pinot Noir looks different. So here we have our own grapes, and the site is called Bischofinger Steinbock. We have some Pinot Noir clones called Pinot Noir 777, a clone selected in France, in Dijon, and famous for small berry sizes, low yields, and therefore high quality, and especially the tannin structure is more chocolatey tannins, and it got a wonderful, nice cherry flavors. This year we had a bad fruit set, like I said before, with low yields, small berry sizes, and what's most important is, as you can see here, no leaves. Every leaf has been removed because in 2006 we had heavy rains here during September, and therefore many botrytis attacks in many vineyards. But in our vineyards we didn't have any botrytis because we took off all our leaves, we separated the grapes so they're hanging freely, loose and freely, and therefore if it rains, just a little wind and they're dry again, and therefore no problem with botrytis. Unfortunately, the wine media said for 2006 it would be a bad vintage. They were absolutely right, but unfortunately they didn't honor those quality-driven winemakers like we are, and say, wow, but there are some people have managed to make great wines out of 2006 because they did their homework in the vineyard. And I must say, I do honor all my colleagues outside that get the effort, go into the vineyards at these enormous high temperatures, bending the whole day down, cutting down excessive grapes, getting rid of excessive leaves, and therefore producing the highest quality possible when making high class, world class Pinot Noir. And I do applaud for them as well. And we're not a small group in Germany. They're quite amazing bunch of guys here doing great stuff, and I'd just like to show you them one day. I forgot a quick view on the temperature. I had put this under the car in the shadow, and just have a look. Bloody warm here, eh? And I also want to show you, this is the wine from 2006 that grew here and just looked as perfect as this does.